Hello guys, welcome back to TechDose, and in this video we will see the course schedule problem which is from LeetCode day 29 of the May challenge. So let us now look at the problem statement. The problem statement says that there are a total of num courses number of courses you have to take, and they are labeled from the number 0 to num courses minus 1. Some courses may have prerequisites. For example, to take course 0, you have to first take course 1, which is expressed as a pair, that is 0, 1, which means in order to take course 0 you need to take course 1. Now given the total number of courses and the list of prerequisite pairs, is it possible for you to finish all the courses? So let us now look at an example in order to get a better understanding. Let us assume that this is our array of pairs suggesting the prerequisite courses. So in this case, in order to take course 0 you need to first take course 1. In order to take course 1 you need to first take course 2. And similarly, in order to take course 2, you need to first take course 3. Now, this is the graphical representation of the entire prerequisite array. Now, in this case, you can see that you can start taking the course from this course 3. So, if you can take this course 3 first, then you will be eligible to take course 2. And if you take this course 2, then you will be eligible to take course 1, and so on. You can take course 0 as well. So, in this case, it is possible to take all the courses at least in one order. Okay, therefore you will have to return true, saying that you can cover all the courses. Now let us assume that there was one more pair of prerequisite requirement added to this array, and this is in order to take course 3 we needed to take course 1. So if this is added to this array, then this graph will change to like this. Now there is no starting point in this graph, so you can see that in order to take course 3 now you need to first take course 1, but in order to take course 1 you need to take course 2. So there is a deadlock in this case. Okay, so in this case you cannot take any of these 3 courses, and therefore there will be no possible way to take all the courses. In this case you will return false. So I hope you got the problem statement now. This problem is very similar to deadlock detection in a single resource instance distributed system. So if we have a cycle in such a system in a graph, then we will have a deadlock. Like in this case, if resource 0 is waiting for resource 1 and resource 1 is waiting for resource 2 and 2 is waiting for 0, then none of them can be allocated the resources, and therefore there is a deadlock. So you basically need to find a deadlock in this case. So how do we define a deadlock? We already know that it is defined as a cycle. So this problem just reduces to finding a cycle in a graph. Now why have we used a directed graph? So in this case you can see that if you want to take course 0, then you need to take course 1, and in order to take course 1 you need to take course 2. So if you use a directed graph, then you have a source and you have a destination, and you clearly knows which one is pointing to which node. If you remove this arrow, then the meaning will change. You will not be able to understand which one is the prerequisite of what course. Therefore, in order to maintain the source destination directionality, you need to take a directed graph. In this case, you cannot take a undirected graph. So in order to give meaning to directionality, we use directed graph. So this problem can be solved by using the cycle detection algorithm, and I have used an approach similar to graph coloring. Now this will take order of v plus e time, and this I have already explained in my previous videos. The link will be present in the description below, so please follow that. Now I will explain you how this algorithm is working and how I have coded it. Now let us assume that we have 4 nodes. Okay, now I will take 3 different flags, 0, 1 and 2. 0 means unvisited, 1 means processed and 2 means processing. Initially we have not visited any node, so each and every value will be 0, and this is nothing but our visited array. Okay, now we start traversing, let's say from this node 0. So we go to this node 0 and we process it. So you can see that the node 0 value is 0. Therefore, this has never been visited. So now we are actually processing this node. Therefore, we will change its value to 2. And now we will call all its adjacent node. So we will basically be using DFS. So it has only one adjacent node. So we will move to this node 1. Now 1 is also not visited and we need to process it. Therefore, we will change its state to processing. Now we will call DFS on its adjacent node, and there is no adjacent node. Therefore, we will just return back to this node 0. And before returning back, we will change its state from processing to processed. So this will be changed to 1. Now we are at this node 0, and you can see that there are no other adjacent nodes. So we will have to change its state from processing to processed. So this will now be equals to 1. Now let's say you want to process this node 1. So you can see that node 1 is already processed. So you won't do anything. Now let's say you want to process this node 2. So you will move to node 2. And now from node 2 you will call its adjacent node. There is only one adjacent node. You will go to node 0. Now node 0 is already processed. Therefore you will not do any other operation. And why are we leaving this? Because if we had found a cycle, then we would not have been doing the recursion here. Because this algorithm returns as soon as we find a cycle. And since we are just searching for the cycle, this means that the already visited nodes are not present in the cycle. So all of its adjacent nodes will also not be present in the cycle. So there is no point in exploring this already processed node. Therefore we will simply return back from this node 0. And now there are no adjacent nodes. Okay, I forgot to make it 2. So initially it will be made 2. And now since we have processed all the adjacent nodes of this node 2, then we will go back from this node 2 and this will be made as 1. That means 2 has been processed. Now we move to node 3 and this is 0. So we will start from this node 3, and from this node 3 we will call its adjacent node. This is node 2. Now node 2 has already been processed. Therefore there is no point in exploring this node. We will come back to 3 and there is no other adjacent node. Now again I forgot to make it 2. Okay, initially it will be made 2, and now since this is processed it will be made 1. So this is the entire algorithm which I have used. So let me show you the code now. Now you can see that this is the prerequisites array and this is the number of courses which are given. So first we will be making a directed graph, and after making the graph I have taken a visited array where I have used 3 colors 0, 1 and 2, and I will be traversing each and every node and find if any cycle starts at that node, and if any cycle starts then we will simply return false. Otherwise, after processing each and every node, if there is no cycle, then we will simply return true, saying that it is possible to take all the courses. Now this is the cycle detection code. Now here we are taking the adjacency matrix which is representing the graph. This is our visited array and this is our current node which we want to process. Now if we want to process a processing node, then that indicates that there is a cycle. Because let's say your graph was like this, 0, 1, 2 and this is 0. Now if you are starting from this node 0, then this will be under processing mode, so this will be 2. Now you go to 1, this will be 2 because this is under processing mode. Now you go to 2, this will be 2. This is under processing. Now if you go back to this 0, because this 2 has adjacent node as 0, then you can see that this is also under processing. So if you reach a node which is under processing, then this indicates that there is a cycle. So once you find a cycle, you will simply return true. Otherwise, you will simply make that current node processing, and after that you will find cycle starting from that node to all its adjacent node. And this line here is skipping all the already processed adjacent nodes. So therefore I have written not equals to 1. If you find a cycle, then you return true. Otherwise, if you do not find a cycle starting at this current node, then after processing all the adjacent nodes, you will make this node as processed. Therefore, this is equals to 1. And finally, you will return false, saying that there was no cycle found. So this is the entire solution, and there is another solution using topological sorting using Kahn's algorithm. So this was much easier as compared to that topological sort, and I have not explained you topological sort. I will be explaining you in some future video. If you have any other approach or solution in different languages, then please post below so that everyone can take benefit from it. Like and share our video and subscribe to our channel in order to watch more of this programming videos. See you in our next video. Thank you.